Foundation. And Diana Ross scored a Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit with her massive song Love Hangover on this day in 1976. It was Motown's first major foray into disco music. Berry Gordy didn't want it, but they recorded it anyway, and I think it's one of her most fantastic hits. Some people sing this song every Monday, but their hangover is not from love.
702.
The newspapers.
Mr. Zulu, what's in the newspapers?
Good morning, Bongani. The government in Britain is trying out an AI facial recognition technology, and this is to help determine whether asylum seekers claiming to be children are actually underage. So according to data that the government has collected, about 6,000 migrants claiming to be children were assessed in March, with 43 later found to be adults. So they're doing this so that they can access additional protections and support, because if you're a child, you get more protections. So they're saying that, oh no, I'm Sfiso, but I am 12 years old. So now when they land at the borders, there's going to be this AI facial recognition system that says, Bongani, you are not a child, you are actually 50 years old.
Can they use it for footballers? Eh? That's what I want to know. Will they use it for footballers? The front page of the Mail and Guardian, how ANC nailed Dolashe. It's got a picture there of the former social development minister who has been axed. The Business Day, households brace for pain as dominoes start falling. Soweto Hospital looting my stolen ID, bought a 6 million rand mansion. A young woman learns from the SIU that her identity was used to register a shelf company through which this luxury home was bought. And the Citizen, looting for Patkos, a frenzy of looting by cadres awaits as they rush to get those last tender contracts before they are voted out, says the Citizen.
EWN Business.
How vigilant are you about sharing personal information, your number? Do you write your full address on forms? Share your CVV number on email or text? Who would do that? Mateo, what prompts that question?
Well, it doesn't rain, but it pours for retailer Pick n Pay. Bongani, the company has reported a data breach that has happened through its delivery app, Pick n Pay ASAP. So if you've used the service, listen closely. The threat actor has claimed to have breached the databases of Pick n Pay's on-demand consumer goods delivery platform, ASAP, formerly known as Bottles. Private customer data has been up for sale on a dark web forum since March, including sensitive customer information such as full credit card details. Now, Pick n Pay online executive Enrico Ferrigoli confirmed to My Broadband, that is the website, that the breach was legitimate and that it has affected private customer information from 2022. Customers have received emails warning them about the breach from Pick n Pay. The retailer says the breach affects things like personal contact details, date of birth, the delivery addresses used with the service, the name of the payment card, the card type, the last 4 digits and the expiry date, the encrypted password, as well as the smart shopper number. And we know how many people use smart shoppers, right? What is not included, though, the full payment card numbers and CVVs, that's the 3-digit number at the back. That's not included as part of the breach, but Pick n Pay's Smart Shopper program has over 11 million active members as South Africa's first major grocery loyalty program of its kind. Data from the app is being sold for the equivalent of around 37,000 to 163,000 for the full details. So Pick n Pay is saying the customers should be vigilant, change their password, and it's something that's become a bit embarrassing for them.
Do you use those automatically generated passwords that are meant to be far more complicated that nobody will guess? Or do you still
It's hard
take
to
your
because you
chances
feel
with
I'm
your
not
own?
going to remember this.
But with facial or other biometric recognition, you don't need to.
Yes, you don't.
But you still take chances with your own. Where's the rand?
Well, at this hour, the rand at 16 rand 24, gaining on the dollar this morning, 18 rand 90 against the euro and 21 rand 81 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,504 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,915. Brent crude at $91 a barrel. More business after 7.
To Sfiso Zulu, we go now. Sfiso, I mean, this is one of those stories. If these guys are guilty, may they lock them up and throw away the key, leave them in blackest darkness.
Well, Bongani, good morning. A second suspect is expected to appear in the Pretoria Magistrates Court today in connection with the murder of Mpumalanga forensic investigator. Madibi Mashaba was killed in September 2023. He had been probing fraudulent qualifications linked to government jobs at the time, and his car was hit with more than 20 bullets while traveling from Mpumalanga to Pretoria. And during the attack, Mashaba's work laptop and documents were stolen. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the recent arrests mark a major breakthrough in the case.
The one suspect, Exon Mkondo, has already appeared before the Pretoria Magistrate Court on a charge of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. His matter is remanded to the 4th of June 2026 for a formal bail application.
In the Western Cape, police say guns continue to play a major role in violent crime across the province. The latest provincial crime statistics for the first quarter of the year show that firearms were used in more than 550 murders. Guns were also the most commonly used weapon in attempted murder cases, making up more than 60% of attacks reported in the period under review. From January to March this year, police recorded more than 774 cases of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. Western Cape MEC for Police Oversight, Community Safety, Anra Murray.
Without illegal guns and ammunition, many of these attacks would simply not happen. This is why continued efforts to remove firearms from our streets must remain a top priority.
Provincial Police Commissioner Tembisile Pategile says technology is now being used to detect where the guns are coming from.
The provincial government is assisting us. We are going to be soon nipping that in the bud in terms of getting the guns.
The cost of credit goes up from today after the Reserve Bank hiked interest rates by 25 basis points, bringing the prime lending rate to 10.5%. The bank announced yesterday that it is concerned about inflation becoming entrenched in the economy due to external factors linked to tensions in the Middle East. The Reserve Bank warns that high inflation will erode household disposable income, leaving many consumers more vulnerable to further price shocks, particularly from rising fuel and food costs. FNB's Esther Oche has urged consumers to review their monthly budgets and seek financial assistance where necessary.
This may result in increased monthly spending on home loans, vehicle finance, and other credit agreements. In this environment, consumers are encouraged to review their budgets carefully, limit unnecessary expenditure, and be cautious about taking out new debt. Consumers who find themselves under financial pressure should engage with their bank as early as possible.
And a man accused of helping dozens of people worldwide commit suicide by selling them poison is set to appear in a Canadian court where he's expected to plead guilty to 14 crimes. Since Kenneth Law's arrest in 2023, details of the online forums where he advised distressed people on how to end their lives have caused public outrage and triggered investigations in several countries. In Canada, Law faced 14 murder charges and an additional 14 charges for aiding or counseling suicide. But prosecutors have withdrawn the murder charges in exchange for Law pleading guilty to the lesser offences. Legal experts note that counseling suicide is a serious crime and Law could receive a sentence of 10 to 20 years. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 5 and 8 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 25.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South towards Winnie Mandela Drive. This is due to a car stuck on the road. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North. This is just as you approach the Olifantsfontein Road off-ramp due to peak time delays.
The top story this hour, a second suspect is expected to appear in court today in connection with the murder of a Mpumalanga forensic investigator.
Your boss noticed. Your ex noticed. The neighbors definitely noticed. Because some cars say, I rented a car. And some cars say, I rented the car. Sani 6 to rent a car. Premium rentals. For people who don't settle, choose the right car. Rent Sani Sixt on sani.co.za.
Tax deadlines don't have to result in penalties. With the 31 May employer submission deadline approaching, avoid lastminute.com. Submit your accurate employer reconciliation declaration, EMP 501, on time using EasyFile or e-filing. Employers, make your tax matters your priority number one. Submit by 31 May 2026. Go to sars.gov.za. SARS, at your service.
Mzansi, petrol prices have hit our pockets hard this year. And now Powerball is going up too. This Friday is the final Powerball draw under eTuba's National Lottery license, where you can still play for just 5 Rand a board. From next week, that same Powerball board will cost 10 Rand. So, before the price doubles, make your 5 Rand count. Play this Friday for an estimated 223 million Rand in total jackpots, 118 million Rand on Powerball, and 105 million Rand on Powerball Plus. One last Powerball draw under eTuba. One last 5 Rand chance. Get your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
That's Fani before he got naked. Fani's insurance premium went up for no reason, irritating him more than when the boys ignored the really funny meme he posted in the group chat. What? So Fani got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Go Fani. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani and the 702 team. Bongani, in the case of the Ebola spreading down to South Africa, it's likely to happen. We've got an open border system, no checks, nothing. And even now, no one is doing anything to put measures in place. But anyway, it's a fire! 7 and the little sevens here from Dobsonville. Sharp.
Good morning, Bongani Bingwa and the team. This is Baba Kupeka from the Val. Man, I've had a stroke and couldn't even send a comment or talk to you here on 702 WhatsApp. But at least now I can talk. I like to say it's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. May you have a splendid day to everyone at 702. You can recover and survive a stroke. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. What irritates me is people when they are listening to their TikTok, and then they are playing it so loud that you are around. It's so disturbing. That irritates me. That gets to me. Yeah, the TikTokers. And then there will be that laughter that is in the mix of that video. Oh my God, that's irritating.
Okay. It's not so much, it's a Friday, so let's not get irritated, right? We're talking about those things that make you cringe, rather. Public behavior that makes you cringe. So I mentioned this cruise liner that wants to charge, what do you call people on a cruise ship? Guests, I suppose, who dish the buffet and go eat it in their rooms because they have to have so much food. And of course cause a mess in those rooms which would have already been cleaned. So that's cringe for me. Baba Kubega, and recovering from your stroke, fantastic voice note. It's great to hear from you, and we wish you all the best, of course, as you continue to recover. Thank you so much for sending that voice note. You really made our day. The question about Ebola, well, look, let's stick to the facts. We're going to speak to the National Institute of Communicable Diseases, and we'll find out exactly what the risks are for South Africans.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, very good morning to you. Is there anything that makes you cringe when you watch other people do? And it's not things that annoy you, but it's that, who raised you? Why would you do something like that? And you just, your toes curl.
Wow.
Your nose wrinkles and you don't even know it.
It's a 3-hour show and it's not about me. So I have a very, very, very long list. But in general, it's people who
People who film somebody else in distress instead of helping them makes me just want to crawl inside myself. And then people who cry on the internet. People who film themselves
crying.
And then they're crying because they literally had to set up the tripod, position themselves on their bed, cry about whatever it is they're going through. And I'm not saying that you can't cry.
Or go through things.
It's just weird for me that you film it and then put it on the internet. And I get it. You're trying to show people that we're in this together.
Yeah.
But it just feels so... I once saw a nurse crying about a patient, and I get it, but it was really this dramatic scene where she then had to obviously film herself. She was walking out the room crying, and I'm like, so in the moment where you were supposed to be compassionate about the actual patient, you thought, I'm going to film
this
my
phone
and I'm going to put it on the internet.
Yeah. I tell you what, there will be
weird,
people
us
crying
humans.
about Kwagga Smith.
Yes, because it's a big blow for the Springboks this morning. The news that Kwagga Smith is out for the season after injuring his knee playing for Japanese club Shizuoka Blue Revs, adding to the growing injury list that includes Evan Etzebeth, Erge Snyman and Peter Steph de Toy.
Sure.
Box season opens against the Barbarians in 3 weeks' time.
Jeez. I mean, those are big names.
I trust Rassie and the depth. United Rugby Championship quarterfinal starts tonight. Glasgow are hosting Connacht. Tomorrow, all three South African sides in battle. At Loftus first, the Bulls host Munster. Then the Stormers against Cardiff. And at 9 p.m, a big one, the Lions away at Leinster. In tennis, the men's section of Roland Garros is wide open. World number one, Yannick Sinner, is out. He was leading 6-3, 6-2 and 5-1 when he started cramping and lost in 5 sets to Juan Manuel Cerundolo. It's the first time since 2024 that Sinner has failed to make a semi-final.
Struggled, starting to feel very dizzy, very low of energy, and tried to serve it out, but didn't have a lot of energy. Fourth set, I let it go a little bit, trying to have a bit more energy in the fifth.
Also out is the 5th seed Ben Shelton. The women's top 10 seed Sabalenka, Goff, Anisimova and Boca all advanced. Lionel Messi's in the Argentina World Cup squad. Messi holds the current record for most World Cup matches by any player. That's 26. With Cristiano Ronaldo, the pair are the only male players to appear in 6 World Cups. Tonight in Orlando, Bafana plays Nicaragua in a friendly before leaving for the World Cup on Sunday. And the Telkom Netball League, Free State Crinums unbeaten 11 games after a 67-39 win over the Eastern Cape Aloes. The defending champions, Gauteng Fireballs, moved to second after they beat now third on the table Western Cape Southern Stings by 25. Gauteng's other team, the Jaguars, beating Northwest Flames by 1. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Hello, my name is Sianda. I'm 10 years old. I go to St. Benedict's College. I'm excited to enter the Whiz Quiz, and when I grow up, I would like to be a footballer and an entrepreneur.
EWN Traffic.
14 to 7, the CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. What's going on in the N12? The delays there in 12 East?
Yeah, that's correct. Bongani is in the South Crest area. An accident right near the Elands interchange is causing delays from Fort Drecker Road, and there's also queuing traffic if you continue making your way towards Germiston via the N3 North. Peak time delays. This is between the Elands turnoff and Van Buren Road. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 51. Did I use too many emojis in that text? Did I sound too eager? Oh, the mental gymnastics. Well, with the Outsurance pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your number one choice. Home in One has it all.
Coming up in the next hour, What's the Question? It's brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. Send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show, and for that you win $1,000. WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. Later, someone asks a question to win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
Still shopping around for a saving here and a deal there? Choose Checkers, SA's #1 in value supermarket, and save on deals like Nescafe Gold Instant Coffee, 200 or 220 grams for $149.99. Save 50 Rand. Cadbury Chocolate Slabs, 150 grams, any two for 79 Rand. And Lovey's Ultra Value Pack Disposable Nappies for $149.99 per pack. Valid until 7 June. Only at Checkers.
Totally advantage nge-FNB Speed Point. Kanjani? You can boost your cash flow with FNB Cash Advance and get pre-approved funds within 24 hours.
So whether you're buying stock, paying suppliers, or growing your business, it's easy. Get your cash. Walala, wasala.
Get in the payments game with a bank that helps you unlock cash flow with FNB Speed Point. FNB, help changes everything. First National Bank, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Calling all aspiring radio stars this June, 7:02 afternoons with Relebogile Mabucha is bringing back Youth Takeover Thursdays. So if you're someone you know of, dreams of being on air as a talk show host, a newsreader perhaps, a traffic reporter, sports presenter, we want to hear from you. A select few will shadow the team, go live on 7:02 and walk away with a professional demo. Email 702afternoons@702.co.za. Applications will close today.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Time now to give away some cash, shall we? Let's play the Whiz Quiz. Today's contestant is Sianda, who is 10 years old, goes to St. Benedict's College, and wants to play football and be an entrepreneur. Sianda, a very good morning to you. Are you ready to play the Whiz Quiz?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm very
you are.
ready.
You are ready. You are ready. All right, let's start. Talk. True or false? The 1st of January is a public holiday.
False.
It's true.
True.
What fruit has a variety named Granny Smith? Is it apples or oranges?
Apple.
Correct. In maths, what is 46 minus 26?
20.
Correct. What form of transport uses a rudder? Is it a train or is it a ship?
A train.
It's a ship. Which city has the capital? What is the name of the capital city of Nigeria? Is it Abuja or Amsterdam?
Abuja.
Correct. Which one is not a mammal? A kangaroo, shark, or dolphin?
A shark.
Correct. What sport does Chelsea and Manchester City play in England?
Football.
Correct. True or false? The woman in the movie Beauty and the Beast is called Belle.
False.
It's true. Spell the word lunch.
L-U-N-C-H.
L-U-N-C-H is indeed the correct answer. Not quite in time, though, Sianda. You walk away with 500 Rand. But that's not all. That's not all. Because today is Slipper Day. Reach for a Dream have given you an extra question to win a hamper. And inside that hamper, you will get all kinds of goodies. I just need to know from you, is this fact or fuzz? Today, you can wear your slippers to make dreams come true if you buy that 20 Rand sticker. Is that fact or fuzz? Sianda, is that fact or fuzz?
Fact.
It is fact. Absolutely. You walk away with that fabulous Reach for a Dream hamper. And of course, for anybody who wants to wear their slippers, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're wearing our slippers. It's Slipper Day today. I forgot mine. I had to have it delivered here at the studio. It was Uber delivered. And of course, those stickers are available at participating retailers, including Wimpy, Dis-Chem Baby, City, Crocs, The Crazy Store, Toys R Us, Babies R Us, and Krispy Kreme. You can also buy a virtual sticker directly on the Reach for a Dream online store.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, 702 Breakfast Team, my fellow listeners. I agree. We see things on the road when we run. I don't want to sound like I'm better, but I always carry my small cloth or handkerchief because I don't want to disgust other people. I'll leave it there. Live and direct from Ikuruleni.
Runners do not have time to think about a tissue, let alone a buff in your neck. There's no time. You're chasing a target. That's the reason. We don't have time to know where can I blow my nose. Man.
Yes.
Hi, it's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. Hi, Bongani and the team. It's Gideon here, Oliven. Yay. You know, these people who answers the phone very loudly in a taxi or in a public space. He just says, hello. Yeah, I can hear you. Those guys, no. It's an off for me, man. Thank you. Gideon from Oliven.
Bongos, the team. Listen, what irritates the hell out of me is people that shop at the till. You know, when you're at the till and they're ringing up your things and now you forgot that, now you forgot your roll-on, you forgot your bread, you forgot your spaghetti, and now they run back, and on their way back they pick up more things that they actually realize that they need. And you have to wait there, and that time you are trapped. There's no going forward, no going backwards. You know, it irritates the hell out of me. Also, I'm with Amo when people that don't greet, and people that don't indicate as well. Good morning, team.
We were talking about things that make you cringe. This is fast becoming. That's fine. Yeah. You want to talk about, don't get me going about people who answer. So you're giving somebody a ride in your vehicle.
Yes.
And they answer the phone and they want to have a fat conversation. You can only hear one half of their conversation. You can't play music. You can't turn on the radio. You've just got to sit there and they're yakety away. I usually just, at some point, I just turn the radio on and I crank up the volume. Because really?
Then they signal to you to put down the volume because they can hear the other person on the
and
other
I'm like, hey. So, Amo, you've caused great consternation amongst the runners.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking a little earlier, of course, about those things, those behaviors in public that put you off completely. Chief, you're in Sandton. You're a runner?
Hi, guys. Yes, I am indeed. Let me defend the runners. You know, I remember in Cape Town last year, year before last, I was doing Cape Town Marathon and I was running against time. And I had no time to look for a bathroom, so I just peed on myself. And because I had water, I just poured the water on my head. So guys, no, please, we don't have time. Also, when you run comrades, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the guys going into the bushes. There's no, you don't have a choice, you know. So please don't attack us, please.
And nobody noticed, right, Chief?
No, nobody does. Yeah, it's you against the time, and you are pressed, and also if you notice those bathrooms, portable bathrooms, they're long queues, and there's definitely no time to go through that. Yeah, so please, guys, give us some slack.
All right, you just let it go, Chief. I get it. I get it.
Sure,
I see you. I see you. Thank you for that call. King, you're in Alberton. What puts you off? Behavior in public that puts you off?
Sir Bingwa, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, King. Go ahead.
My good sir, people who bite their nails and poke their nose. I don't know what they're digging inside of their nose. It makes me cringe. I don't know what's in there that they want to take out and then they make a ball and throw it. I want to throw up.
I hear you, King. I have no argument. I have no argument against that. Appreciate that call.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
We were, of course, scheduled to speak to the legal expert Benedict Phiri, just looking at the Phala Phala report and what the legalities around that are at this stage. The joys of live radio are that he's not picking up his phone. Maybe it's a signal thing. Maybe it's on silent. You never know quite what happens. So that's why we've taken more of your calls and your WhatsApp voice notes. But I want to go back to that story that Sfiso Zulu read at the bottom of the hour at 6:30. A second suspect expected to appear in the Pretoria Magistrates Court today in connection with the murder of a Mpumalanga forensic investigator, this unfortunate fellow Mabidi Mashaba, who was killed in September 2023, had been looking into fraudulent qualifications linked to government jobs at the time. And they killed him. 20 bullets his car was hit with whilst he was traveling on route to Pretoria from Mpumalanga. And I was reminded of this moment. This is, of course, as the Standing Committee on Public Accounts has been looking at the Msunduzi municipality, the chair, Songezo Zibi, questioning the municipal manager about why it is they put people on suspension and seem to struggle to fully enact the disciplinary process against them. If this doesn't chill your bones, I don't know what will. Have a listen.
So if you take a decision to suspend someone, you've already seen enough evidence. What follows, because on the suspension letter is already an allegation. You may add more charges, but you already know what they have contravened. Why is it that 6 months later you are not able to have completed the process at all? I'm trying to understand why it is that half a year later the matter is not concluded.
Chair, is the nature of the case itself. It takes time for the investigators to do the investigations. And in most instances, those who are doing the investigation get threats. They are being threatened by those people who are being investigated that you will untimely meet your maker. Then you have to appoint another person. We ended up using the SALGA panel to assist in terms of investigation, prosecution, and chairing the disciplinary proceedings, because if we use our own staff, they get threats from those who have transgressed the law. So that is why from time to time you find that the case will take a long time for the investigations to be concluded.
Spare a thought for any investigator working within the state, investigating people working for the state. The Mpumalanga case, this was all about people who were getting jobs within the public sector, faking their qualifications. And that's what that guy was investigating. They killed him. 20 bullets they pumped into his car. And now you're hearing from the municipal manager of the Msunduzi municipality, one Felani Mdebele, who says they put people on suspension. They've got the evidence to suspend them, as Songezo Zibi suggests, but they're afraid to discipline them because these chaps turn around and threaten them. And we know from the Mpumalanga case, they do at times carry out their threats.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
The big interview focuses on Ebola. How worried should you be here in South Africa?
This is EWN.
The hefty salary of Secretary to Parliament is still under scrutiny, and Brown Mokgotsi says he didn't intend not to reveal all his convictions. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Almost 4 years since he was appointed as Parliament's top executive, the salary of Secretary to Parliament Xolile George continues to be a point of contention among political parties. During debates on the budget of Parliament yesterday, the DA and EFF pushed for a forensic investigation. They are not satisfied with explanations offered about how George earned a 70% salary hike just a few months after his appointment. But the ANC Soviet Dechanyane says the matter is being considered by the Auditor General. Lindsay Tentlinka reports.
At a meeting in March, the ANC drew a line under the matter and said Speaker Toko Didiza had provided sufficient explanation about Xolile George's recruitment and salary benchmarking process. But the EFF's Ompile Mwartwe said the EFF would turn to the courts to resolve the matter.
He earns more than the President, more than the Speaker of the National Assembly, more than the Chairperson of the NCOP. He earns more than all ministers in cabinet, more than deputy ministers, and more than director generals of all national departments with more complex and big organizations.
The DA's Michelle Clark said her party also does not accept the ANC's decision, especially since it recently came to light George will also receive a gratuity.
If these decisions were taken without proper approval, then we are not only dealing with poor administration, we are dealing with a breakdown in governance.
In reply, Didiza said the matter presented an opportunity to amend the way in which Parliament recruits its top officials, but it should not become one for political point scoring. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The attorney of self-proclaimed political fixer Brown Mogotsi say he omitted to inform the court about his 3 previous convictions because of a technicality. Mogotsi appeared in the Joburg Magistrates Court yesterday for a bail application which was postponed for judgments on 4 June. He faces charges linked to faking his own assassination attempt, perjury, defeating the ends of justice, unlawful possession of a firearm, ammunition and the discharging of gun in public. Jabali Limbata reports.
Brown Mogotsi had informed the Johannesburg Magistrates Court that he only had 3 previous convictions when the state revealed that he actually had 6. Yesterday, his attorney Ntabiseng Muhumelo argued that he did not omit this information deliberately, but because he did not know, he had to include matters which were suspended sentences. She also argued that many of the other points of contention, like his home address and the allegation that he tried to bribe his investigating officer, were simply misunderstandings.
I'll invite the court to look at the reality that the applicant is a lay person and accommodate the applicant in as far as the possibility of making errors, especially because these previous convictions are fines and he wasn't incarcerated for them. I further invite the court to find that omission was not mala fide.
She adds that the omissions had no malicious intent. Jabuli Lambata, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg Magistrates Court.
The Reserve Bank has warned that a combination of global shocks, El Nino risks and rising fuel costs could lead to further interest rate hikes. During the Monetary Policy Committee briefing yesterday, Governor Lesitja Kganyago outlined a series of risk scenarios that could drive inflation higher and slow economic growth. He says the first risk stems from the Middle East conflicts, which could push oil and food prices higher while weakening the rand. Dimakaso Leshuru has more.
When asked whether the bank's decision to hike rates was preemptive, Governor Lesitja Kganyago emphasized that central banks have to act to prevent secondary effects of initial price increases. He says waiting too long could see inflation get out of hand. The consumer price index recorded the sharpest increase in April, rising by 0.9 percentage points to 4%, and could rise further if tensions in the Middle East that have driven the price of Brent crude oil continue. Kganyago says hopes of these tensions being short-lived have faded, but the domestic economy is in a better fiscal position to absorb the price shocks.
This shock found us better prepared than 2022 from the domestic side. The fiscal position is better now.
But Kganyago is worried that the increase in inflation could be the start of a second global inflation surge that central banks would have to respond to. Dimakazo Leshuru, Eyewitness News.
And the UN Health Chief says the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has claimed more than 200 lives, can be stopped. World Health Organization head Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has landed in the DRC to oversee the fight against the highly infectious disease. He's set to travel to Ituri province in the northeastern DRC, where the epidemic's epicenter has been recorded. The WHO has recorded 10 confirmed and 223 suspected Ebola deaths in the DRC since the outbreak was declared on May 15th. Out of more than 1,000 confirmed and suspected cases, according to its latest figures, up to May 24th. The WHO has warned the true spread of the outbreak, though to have circulated under the radar for some time, is likely much wider. Gold is trading at $4,497.45 an ounce. The rand is at 16.24 to the dollar, 21.82 to the pound, 18.90 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $92.63 a barrel.
Well, traffic remains heavily backed up on the N12 East in the South Crest area. That's due to an accident right near the Elands interchange. Delays from Fortrekker Road. While traveling in Industrial, we still have got that issue along Main Reef Road. Traffic heavily backed up along this route between the N1 and the Nasrec Road exit. That's due to a pedestrian on the road with officials along the routeway. So please be on the lookout there. I'm already seeing delays along Commando Road. This is people trying to navigate their way around the scene. Please be on the lookout there.
And in your sports, Springbok flag Kwagga Smith out for the rest of the year. Only 4 of the men's top seeds remain at the French Open. World number 1 Yannick Sinner is out. And Bafana play Nicaragua at a friendly at 6 o'clock tonight.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 8 degrees in Johannesburg, Pretoria 10 and 25, Vereeniging 5 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Almost 4 years since he was appointed as Parliament's top executive, the salary of Secretary to Parliament, Xolile George, continues to be a point of contention among political parties.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Abize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock. Up next, we're going to be looking at the Ebola outbreak in the DRC. It started, of course, in a region of the country, a province called Ituri, and the deaths is part of what is interesting. The numbers are conflicting somewhat because they cannot confirm the exact number of people who have died directly from Ebola. Many of those who have been declared dead are suspected to have had the virus, but they're not entirely sure. And that means they may not have a handle on the number of infections. So could this thing spread as far as here in South Africa? That conversation up next.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes after 7 o'clock. You know, for all that goes wrong in public life in South Africa, every now and again, you pay attention to somebody who is at least bothered by what goes wrong. And I want to highlight the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba, who was, the video has been going viral on social media. She did a spot visit to a clinic called the Mahlwelereng Clinic on Thursday. This is a clinic in Limpopo. She arrived there very early in the morning. I think it was around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. And the nurses, what they do upon arrival at work, they take a 2-hour tea break. So by 9 o'clock, the clinic is chock-a-block with patients that haven't been attended to because the nurses who staff the clinic first have to have a tea break. And she does a spot visit and she addresses them quite strongly, I thought. And I'm going to play you the clip. Some of it is in Isipedi, and I'll do my best to translate, but I think I understand the gist of what she's saying. Have a listen.
Not me. You see, if you don't see them, they will call me, they will complain. But if you arrive here and see all these patients, then these patients are not many. You would have done by 12 o'clock. Patients will be done. You remember when I was a clinical manager before I was a CEO of Volkswagen? There was one CEO at that time, one of my doctor, Aliko Maspa. Clinical manager, your doctor is here. We know water and electricity. Come on, because I want to The OPG is clean. So that's what you need to do. I will be the one to defend you. Because when I come to choice, I will not choose your side. I'll choose that of a patient. Even though when you were right, I'll apologize after.
So essentially what she's saying to them, she is a clinician, she's a doctor. And she says she remembers working in a facility where they would do their best to clear out the patients and they'd be done by 12 o'clock. She even says she was managing a facility and one of her doctors was spotted at the local municipality and one of her supervisors or somebody senior to her phoned and said, did you see, or I bumped into Dr. So-and-so, why isn't she at work? And she says, I was able to defend it because by 12 o'clock we had cleared the patients for that day. So she's saying to these nurses, if you want to spend time lazing about, enjoying your lunch boxes, deal with the patients first. And then you'll have plenty of time to sit around and stare into each other's eyes.
Is it not that when you walk into a public institution like a clinic or the Home Affairs, that one of the first things that you see is the Batupili sign, meaning people first?
And that's what I like about Premier Poppy Ramathuba. Yes, she can go overboard at times and perform a little, but it's the fact that she looks at what goes wrong and she's bothered and she says, not on my watch. More of that, please.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Less of this. Listen, a former Tembisa Hospital supply chain clerk is now about to lose her 1.8 million rand pension and a 6.4 luxury property after a special investigating unit investigation linked her to alleged corruption and looting at the hospital. This is at best a junior level clerk with a mansion with over 6 million rand. If you're a footballer, and particularly if you're a fan of teams in Manchester, you'll have some interest in this. Manchester City, the club, are awaiting a verdict after being charged for more than 100 alleged Premier League financial rule breaches dating from 2009 to 2018. The club, of course, strongly denies them, but there are indications that the Premier League may come hard on them, and that's why we're seeing the departure of the coaching staff under Pep Guardiola and a number of players looking for opportunities to be transferred. And on this day in 1917, John F. Kennedy was born in Massachusetts, Brooklyn. Known as JFK, he served as the 35th President of the United States.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Sizekaya. The National Lottery is changing lanes and moving over to Sizekaya, your new official national lottery operator from the 1st of June. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got heavy traffic volumes on Malibongwe Drive in the Sharon Lee area. It's in both sides of the road between Oliver North and the N1 exit. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North towards Fourways. This is due to peak time delays. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Mzansi, your chance is finally coming home with Sizekaya. We're bringing back Lotto live draws. Experience the thrill live with real people, real wins, and real-time excitement. And the next number is 7. 7 is for heaven. Tune in every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. Feel it, live it. It's here. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizekaya.
702. Up next.
The Big Interview.
Global business is changing fast as markets become more regional, fragmented, and complex. African executives working in multinational environments need sharper strategic capabilities. The MPhil in Business Management, specializing in international business, offered by the Gordon Institute of Business Science, is designed for this moment. This research-driven master's program helps African leaders build insight and capability to orchestrate and navigate international expansion, shifting regional markets and global complexity. Applications are closing soon. Visit gibbs.co.za and apply today.
At Dis-Chem, we're bringing you better health this winter. Swipe your Better Rewards card and save 102 Rand on A Vogel Akina Force 100ml drops, now only 262 Rand 79. And save 147 Rand on Insumax Q 30-day supply, now just 378 Rand 71. Look out for the yellow label to shop Better Rewards brands in-store and online and get 10% off instantly on top of the promo price. Offers valid until 14 June at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
At Specsavers, we're committed to offering affordable and professional eye care. That's why we're offering 1,500 Rand worth of savings with our winter promotion. Get a free frame up to the value of 1,500 Rand or use the 1,500 Rand on one of our leading vision enhancements, like Climate Eyes, which automatically adapts to changing light. To qualify, simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy, a pulse, and a feeling connecting everybody. The heart of Mzansi.
It's Joburg.
In celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Jozi My Jozi, and we're calling on you to walk through the city center with us.
Walk the talk.
In the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. On Sunday, 26 July, we're going to the iconic Joburg CBD, the home of dream creators and operators, where we dominate and history make. So join us and be a part of something special.
I'm ready to rock this book.
Because when Joburg walks together, extraordinary things happen. Enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk this July, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Jozi. Babize bonke. Enter Walk the Talk now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
The Big Interview
With Bongani Bingwa.
So, how worried should you be about the current Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and even Uganda? There are at least 200 suspected deaths, only 10 confirmed because of laboratory tests. So the suspected cases are of people with symptoms who have since died, but no conclusive results or tests were conducted on those poor souls. The World Health Organization declaring this outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. It's its highest level of alert, signaling that this is no longer just a localized health crisis. And there are questions because of the lack of sufficient contact tracing. There's a phrase we're familiar with. Because of the lack of sufficient contact tracing, they're not sure. They're not altogether sure about the number of people who may have been infected. So we have got the Medical Office Unit Division of the Public Health Surveillance and Response Unit at the National Institute for Communicable Diseases joining us, Vuyiswa Khumalo. A very good morning to you and welcome to our program.
Good morning and thank you so much for having me.
Vuyiswa, perhaps let's start right at the beginning in terms of what is Ebola exactly and what did the world first learn from that original outbreak? I think it was 1976, was it?
All right. So Ebola, specifically Bundibugyo virus disease, is a viral hemorrhagic fever. So it's a virus that can cause disease. The symptoms that you would usually get first start off very, very vague and general, like fever, muscle aches, pains, fatigue. But if the virus progresses and the illness gets worse, then you can have more severe features like vomiting, diarrhea, and in some cases bleeding, not in all of them, and then death. As you mentioned, it was first identified during that time. However, the first outbreak that happened was in 2007 in Uganda, and then there was a second one in the DRC as well in 2012.
All right. Now, I know there are particular strains of this. The Zaire strain is the more common one. And for that, I think we have a vaccine. The latest outbreak is linked to a different strain for which I understand we have no protection.
Well, yes, the Zaire Ebola virus, that's the one where there is a vaccine available. However, there isn't one yet for this strain, which is the Bundibujo. There is research and development that's currently ongoing for the specific strain, but there isn't a vaccine. However, if anyone is at risk, there are appropriate infection prevention control measures that can be put in place. And if they are infected, there are supportive treatment plans and modalities that are available to manage the cases.
One of the things I've observed with some concern is local populations in the DRC who have not been all that keen on some of those protocols that you've just alluded to there, around things like the burial of loved ones, for example. We've seen people storming facilities where, of course, suspected cases might be, where people might be quarantined or where people have even died. What does all of that mean for the risk of the spread of this Ebola?
To be able to stop the spread of the disease, we do need to have appropriate measures in place, and that does include, communities being educated on how the disease spreads. And you did mention the funeral practices. I think that we need to be culturally sensitive also when speaking to the affected communities and families, but we also do need to be safe to be able to stop the spread of the infection.
All right. I suppose if you're in Johannesburg or I suppose Greater Gauteng or indeed across South Africa, how worried should you be? Because we've already seen cases in Europe, for example, where people have traveled from the DRC or Uganda and contracted or at least are displaying symptoms. How worried should we be that it could happen here?
There is always the risk of importing cases from travelers. However, the current risk to our country is low. We need to also remember there have been previous large Ebola outbreaks on the continent. And during those large Ebola outbreaks, we hadn't had any imported cases that had come into the country. And even with the second one, the same. So even if an imported case would happen in the country, we wouldn't expect widespread community transmission. This isn't a virus that spreads through the air or through casual contact. You need, close contact with someone who is sick with their bodily fluids.
All right, so this is not like COVID, for example. We can't worry that it's going to transmit as easily as that.
100%, yes. It's very different transmission dynamics. This virus doesn't spread through the air. You need that direct physical contact with the body fluids of someone who is infected.
All right, so at this stage, no need for screening, for example, for flights coming from, say, Kampala or even Kinshasa.
I think when you speak about screening, we need to look at its utility. So the screening needs to be occurring in the countries where the travelers are coming from, and on arrival in South Africa as well, we need to know where our travelers are coming from and if they have symptoms. It is important to also remember, though, that the incubation period for this disease can be up to 3 weeks, so 21 days. So just because you've screened someone and they don't have symptoms at the time that they enter does not mean that they wouldn't be able to develop them later on.
All right, for people traveling to affected areas or regions or who have family members, their loved ones there, what practical precautions should they be thinking about?
They would need to obviously consider the reason for their travel. Don't take any risks. If they are attending funerals, follow the precautionary measures that are in place in those areas, and also ensure if they are symptomatic that they present to healthcare facilities as soon as possible so that they can be identified as cases, be able to be isolated to stop the spread of the infection.
All right, so at this stage, a very, very low risk of this thing exploding here in South Africa, and it just doesn't transmit as easily as, say, something like COVID. So at this stage, not much to worry about. Appreciate your time. Vuyiswa Khumalo is a medical officer and outbreak response unit division head. This is at the National Institute for Communicable Diseases.
EWN Traffic.
26 after 7, the CWN traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, how are we looking at this hour?
Well, traffic remains heavily backed up, Bongani, along the N12 East. This is just as you head towards the Airlines interchange. A major accident seen there. Delays coming out of the Reading interchange. There's also an accident seen, unfortunately, on Main Reef Road. This is just as you come out of Commando Road. Please be on the lookout there. And then heading towards the Joburg CBD, queuing traffic on the M1 North between Boyson's Road and the Double-Decker section. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If your medical aid was becoming too expensive, you'd switch, right? So why pay more for car insurance? Switching to Outsurance saved 27-year-old Liam an awesome 640 Rand on his 2020 Ford Ranger. Get a quote now, and if Outsurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
EWN
28 after 7, onto business news now. We were all expecting it, I suppose. Muteo Kharipa, the South African Reserve Bank, making that early move to hike the repo rate by 25 basis points. A hawkish Reserve Bank, this Monetary Policy Committee. No surprises there, really.
No surprises. They'll always move early, and that's why yesterday afternoon they ripped off the band-aid, raising the repo rate by 25 basis points. The hike sees the repo rate at 7%, which was largely expected by the markets, though the SARB says South Africans shouldn't expect a cut this year, given the situation that we're seeing there on the Strait of Hormuz. It's the first time the SARB has raised rates since 2023, so we're going quite well, and we're getting into a year where we were expecting major cuts, but of course the end of February launching of missiles there in
It's
Iran.
That orange man, because we had a good wicket.
Yeah.
On balance,
we were good.
We were on a good wicket. All right, so a 25 basis point hike. So where does that leave the repo rate?
It's at 10.5%, and that's because inflation went back to about 4%, breaching the central bank's 3% target range. With the prime lending rate at 10.5%, you expect to spend a few more rands.
Right. So wait, hold on. Prime lending at 10.5.
Yeah.
Repo
7
at 7%.
Yeah.
All right. How are the markets?
Well, the markets are still looking at that oil price, and that's because Iran's armed forces fired missiles at unidentified targets. That's according to state media Fars. US and Iran negotiators have reached an agreement to temporarily end the 3-month-old war, but President Donald Trump has yet to give his final approval to the 60-day memorandum of understanding. But as it looks like they're going towards that agreement, the price of oil is now at around $91, which is good. Should they reach an agreement, we should expect it to go down even further. Markets were weaker though on the JSE yesterday. The JSE coming lower by 330 points. Some major losses for the likes of Karoo, Clicks and Pick and Pay. The rand at this hour, 16 Rand 23 against the US dollar. It's in good standing. 18 Rand 87 against the euro, and you need 21 Rand 78 cents to get a British pound. Price of gold also up by close to 1% at $4,510. Platinum at $1,925. Brent crude now at $91 a barrel. More business after 8.
7:30 exactly. Let's go straight to the news desk. Swisa Zulu, these poor souls, hey?
Yeah, quite devastating, Bongani. Good morning. We begin in the capital, where more than 100 residents from the Plastic View informal settlements have been left without shelter after a fire broke out. The blaze erupted last night, but Tshwane Emergency Services had difficulty accessing some parts because of limited routes to the area. EMS spokesperson Nanaga Debekhiba says no fatalities or injuries have been reported.
The cause of fire will be determined
out once firefighting operations are done.
Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya adds that this is the second fire in the informal settlement since Sunday, where 59 households were affected.
We are just asking that the residents should not come and just to manage the space here. We will keep residents updated, but it's going to be one of those. What we are seeing here is not good.
Staying in the capital, a second suspect is expected to appear in the Pretoria Magistrates Court today in connection with the murder of a Mpumalanga forensic investigator. BD Mashaba was killed in September 2023. He had been probing fraudulent qualifications linked to government jobs at the time. His car was hit with more than 20 bullets while traveling from Mpumalanga to Pretoria. And during the attack, Mashaba's work laptop and documents were stolen. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the recent arrests mark a major breakthrough in the case.
The one suspect, Exon Mkondo, has already appeared before the Pretoria Magistrate Court on a charge of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. His matter is remanded to the 4th of June 2026 for a formal bail application.
In Cape Town, community crime busters in Khayelitsha say residents are still reeling following an uptick in mass shootings. 9 people have been killed in 3 separate attacks in the area since Sunday. Khayelitsha's Crime Prevention's Sakele Kula says the rampant crime threatens the hard-earned community trust in police.
We've worked tirelessly over the years, bring back the trust of the communities for people to trust police, to be able to report cases. And I think in that regard, we have managed to win that battle. But now, worst of all is that there is this now new trend of young people shooting. And the worst part, we do not know where this is the cause. So that is very much frustrating for us as community leaders.
And on the back of Deputy President Paul Mashatile's oversight visits in crime-plagued communities in Cape Town, Kula says one visit is not enough to address the bloodshed.
I think one visit cannot quench the bloodshed which is happening in our community. It was a quiet visit. I think it needed to be a sort of a rally or an event where even the stakeholders, the community is called for them, they are able to engage with them, because the reason I say that is that the solution to fight crime does not only reside with the law enforcement.
And a Russian drone has struck an apartment building in NATO member Romania, wounding 2 people in a city near the Ukrainian border. The Romanian Defense Ministry says Moscow resumed drone attacks yesterday and today on civilian and infrastructure targets in Ukraine. One of the drones entered Romanian airspace and was tracked by radar as far as the southern parts of the city of Galati and crashed onto the roof of the building, with the impact triggering a fire. Drone attacks have been detected dozens of times since the start of the Russian offensive against Ukraine in 2022, but the latest incident was the first time one had hit a residential building. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 5 and 8 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 25.
And in the traffic, we've got delays, a stop and go on the Marquand North. This is between Boysons Road and Greyston Drive. There's also queuing traffic reported in Sharon Lee along Malibongwe Drive between Beles Drive and the N1.
The top story this hour: more than 100 residents from the Plastic View informal settlements have been left without shelter after a fire broke out.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
It's game day, and the family's facing off against the Snotties and Flemmies. Dad's down! Blocked sinus and mucus is gaining ground!
New game plan. Let's bring in the ACC team. With ACC, Mom's got the winning play. Entering the field, ACC helps break down mucus and clear the airways. Choose the winning team when you're facing Snotties and Flemmies. If it doesn't say ACC, it's not ACC.
My name is Richard Sutton, and I'm the host of the podcast Shift Happens. This podcast is about you and the seasons of growth, change, and transformation that shape who you become. My guests are people who have walked long, difficult roads and along the way developed the tools and skills they needed not just to survive, but to thrive. and make a real impact in the world. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, or searching for what's next, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Shift Happens. Now streaming on PrimeMediaPlus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
So 702 family, we value what you think and we want to hear it face to face. Come tell it to us directly. Friday the 5th of June, we're opening our studio doors again to 702 listeners who want to share their thoughts on the station. Your feedback, your ideas, it all matters to us. So everyone who joins us will get a full studio tour. You'll see where the magic happens, how the sausage is made, so to speak. And if you'd like to join us, send us an email, contact@702.co.za.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongani. There's nothing new here about that premier and those nurses, Baba. Siyahamba siya emakliniki, siyofola from 5 o'clock, bazoze baku-attende ngo-10 or ngo-12. You understand? From 5 o'clock ufolile elayinini emaklinika la emalokishini. Uzozo-attendiwe ngo-10, Bongani, 10. Bayenzani from the time clinic ivula, Bongani, from the time clinic ivula up until 10 kind of bazoqala ba-attend the patient okuqala. But there's nothing new here, man. There's nothing new, guys. Hey.
Monks Muteon team, I think one of the things that I really battle with when coming to information, it's one, I don't like people giving out my cell phone number without my permission. Secondly, sometimes when we go to different offices, business park, or even estates, they'll be asking for your ID number. That in itself is really, really like sending up the wall, because I don't think I want to share my ID number, let alone put it on a form that I have to sign and I don't even know where it's going to end up. Then even this scanning of driver's license, man, so those barcodes at the back of our driver's license, different estates again, different offices. Hi guys, I really, really battle with that one. But it is what it is. Let's be as vigilant as possible. Mutusi, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Mutusi, for that voice note. Mutera Kharipa, of course, was asking this question because Pick n Pay has revealed a data breach, particularly for members of its Smart Shopper Rewards program. Information of customers has been compromised. And so he was asking the question, how vigilant are you about sharing your information? Look, when it comes to complexes in particular and those dirty books we have to fill in, I think the information regulator is changing the rules as far as that one is concerned. And so perhaps that will become a thing of the past pretty soon. I mentioned the Limpopo Premier, Poppy Ramatuba, who went on a spot visit to a clinic randomly, finding nurses enjoying a tea break at the start of the day. And that voice note that you heard there suggesting that's commonplace in many a facility around the country, particularly when it comes to the townships. And that's the point. That's the reason we highlighted it, because at least the Premier of Limpopo is dealing with it. She's doing something about it. She's not saying, well, hands up in the air, what can I do? And she used specific examples as somebody who has worked in the public healthcare system. And so none of those nurses could give her any excuse. And I insist, more of that, please.
Question.
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, and it's brought to you by Outsurance in a hurry, it would seem. Your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. Why don't you SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Karabo is in Muhlakeng on the West Rand. Karabo, what's today's answer, please?
The answer is 1976.
1976. Ah, that's a good one, particularly as we head towards the month of June. Karabo, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I do.
Your biscuit, 1,000 Rand is coming your way, thanks to 702 and Outsurance. Well, there you have it. 1976 is the answer. What is the question? Pray tell. Call us now on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
Some big names out for the count when it comes to the Bokke.
Yeah.
Cindy Peluta.
I mean, as much as we focus on the World Cup starting in 2 weeks' time, we've got the Springbok rugby season starting in 3 weeks' time. They'll be playing the Barbarians without Kwagga Smith. He's out for the season. He injured his knee playing for his Japanese club. It's a big one off the bomb squad. In the United Rugby Championship quarterfinals this weekend, the Lions have the toughest draw. They play Leinster in Dublin tomorrow night at 9. Scrum coach Julian Redling-Hayes.
The contact situation is really vital against any team. Any rugby game, the team that goes forward when contact takes place, they have a better chance, whether it's attack, defense, set piece. And that's what we see with the Springboks. They didn't come with fancy stuff. They were doing the small things right. That will allow you opportunities. And we know what we want to achieve this weekend.
Tomorrow, the Bulls host Munster, followed by the Stormers Cardiff. World number one Yannick Sinner is out of the French Open. Sinner was 2 sets and 5-1 up in the third against Rondlo when he started cramping and lost in 5, ending a 30-match unbeaten streak.
Coming here, how I was playing tennis, I felt very well. Hitting the ball in a good way, moving well. And today was just not meant to be. It's I think many things together, caused this problem today. And but again, it can happen. I just need my time now to process.
Fifth seed Ben Shelton was another high seed to be knocked out, while a host of unseeded players, including Srondlo's older brother Francisco and 17-year-old Moise Kwame, also advanced. Lionel Messi is in the Argentina World Cup squad, joining Ronaldo as the only 2 male players to appear at 6 World Cups. As I said, it's 2 weeks from now. The opening match between Bafana and Mexico will be done. Bafana are playing Nicaragua in a friendly at Orlando Stadium tonight. Tomorrow night's Champions League final between PSG and Arsenal. Can you believe it's here?
My beating heart.
Like you feel like they're done, but they're not. Gunners captain Martin Odegaard speaking to Sky Sport.
Yeah, 90 minutes away from that. So we've said that the whole season, Premier League, Champions League, the 2 big ones. Another dream that we can make a reality, So yeah, it's amazing to have that to look forward to with this energy, with this mood in the group, and to have a final to prepare for is just so special, and everyone is just excited. And
So my domestic worker burnt my Arsenal T-shirt.
When?
About a year or so ago.
Maybe that was the voodoo.
No, listen. So I've got another one.
Broke the jinx.
So I've got another one. So the one I'm wearing now is the one that's burnt. But it's burnt at the back. And I've got a jacket over it so you can't see.
Okay.
But I'm saving the unburnt one for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
And what's my theory on wearing your team
Jinxing
shirt
it.
on the day?
Jinxing it. So I
Before the match.
wore a Pirates T-shirt on the weekend we should have won the thing, and we didn't. And I wore it again on the weekend where we did win the thing. So there it goes.
Remember I said if you wear the team jersey on the day before.
Is it on the day before?
The team doesn't win. In the Telkom Netball League, Free State Crinums unbeaten in 11 games now. They beat Eastern Cape Aloes by 28 last night. The defending champions Gauteng Fireballs moved up to second, beating now third place Western Cape Southern Stings by 25, and the Gauteng Jaguars beating Northwest Flames by 1. Cindy Peluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
That's Kefense before she got naked. Kefense's premium went up twice last year, and she was more confused than when her ex said, "I need to find myself," and then found somebody else. So Kefense got naked. She got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Good for you, Kefense. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
In a city moving this fast, meaningful connection has become a luxury. So, Sunday 31 May, You and Me Africa brings together music, food, conversation, and community for an elevated cultural experience in Sandton. Begin with a curated long table dining experience by Nella's Kitchen before moving into a rooftop sunset gathering featuring Lee Art, Sir LSG and Soul Diva, Miss Prince, and more. You and Me Africa. Stay tuned to 702 for your chance to win tickets.
Do you ever call you like to sell? But don't trust your uncle or your pal. Then we buy cars just for you. Buying cars is what we do. We offer service with a smile. We always go the extra mile. Use a place that you trust and sell your car to us.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Managing your workforce shouldn't be complicated. That's why businesses choose Onacy, a proudly South African cloud-based payroll and HR solution. From payroll and e-recruitment to performance management and self-service tools, we streamline the way businesses handle their people. Scalable, secure, and always online, our system evolves with your needs because your workforce deserves the best. Switch to Onacy and experience payroll and HR done right. Visit onacy.com today.
EWN Traffic.
14 to 8, this EWN Traffic is brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. Malibongwe Drive. There's some issues there. That's what's
Sharon Lee.
It's
The
in
brand
Sharon
yeah.
Lee area. And I'm just trying to remember, what was it before? What was Malibongwe Drive called? Wasn't DF Malan, was it?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Anyway, what's going on there now?
Anyway, there's queuing traffic on both sides of this route between Bel-Air and the N1. Peak time delays, they're piling up, so please be on the lookout while Bongani is trying to remember the former name of Malibongwe Drive. Please come to the party and help us out.
What was it called before?
Please, we need
wasn't
this.
Hendrik Potgieter?
No, because we still have Hendrik Potgieter.
What was it? Wasn't DF Milan?
Wasn't it Hendrik Verwoerd?
No, that's the other one. Anyway,
right.
Continue.
So,
Sorry, I'm disrupting
as you head towards Four Ways, do you expect delays as well along the N1 North between Malibongwe and Winnie Mandela Drive? Otherwise, in Kelvin, queuing traffic on the M1 South between the Baklu Interchange and Marlborough Drive. I'll have more updates. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
I'll tell you what you shouldn't forget, the all-new Citroen Basalt. With keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay, it's made to look good and to make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. Register now for the limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Your boss noticed. Your ex noticed. The neighbors definitely noticed. Because some cars say, I rented a car. And some cars say, I rented the car. Sani Sixt Rent a Car. Premium rentals. For people who don't settle. Choose the right car. Rent Sani Sixt on sani.co.za.
Doing your famous through meetings, in traffic, at the store. Don't let seasonal hay fever get in the way of a better you. Unite against allergies with Demazin once a day, providing 24-hour non-sedating relief from symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing, and itchy red eyes. Demazin gets it done. Speak to your pharmacist today about Demazin once a day.
Gabelo's the go-to guy for renovations. His bakkie is full of tools, ready to build dreams. But one day, a reckless driver takes him out. Now, his backie's standing still. No wheels, no money, Gabza. Oh. But with budget, he'd be back on site faster than you can say DIY. Don't let expensive days stop your hustle. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za for a business insurance quote today. Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
No surprises there, really. You have 6 eggs, and only 6 eggs. We would like you to cook for us 1 perfectly poached egg, 1 perfect boiled jammy egg, and 1 simple 2-egg folded omelette. There is, however, a small catch. You only have 10 minutes.
This week, the pressure in the MasterChef South Africa kitchen gets very, very home to radio lovers. Some of the country's most familiar voices stepping away from the mic into the dining room. And it's a white apron team challenge with a very special guest list. Contestants split into teams guided by 2 powerhouse women in food, Sibam Tongane and Nti Ramabua, as they prove they can cook up a storm. Catch MasterChef South Africa this Sunday at 6 p.m. or on ETV, or stream it on EVOD at watch.evod.co.za.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question? If the answer is 1976 for 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me. Let's go to Sbusiso in Sandton. Sbusiso, what's the question?
In which year did Diana Ross's Love Me Hangover top the Billboard 100 on this day?
In which year did what, Diana Ross?
In which year did Diana Ross's Love Me Hangover top the Billboard 100 on this day?
Sbusiso, I'll give it to you. It's not Love Me Hangover. It's just Love Hangover. Hey?
I'm too young, Boggs. I don't think I got the title right.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'll give you a 2,000 Rand hangover. Hey, how about that? All thanks to Outsurance and 702. What was phenomenal is how this song was crafted, because it starts off as classic Diana Ross, a little slow. You think it's a ballad. She's got that dreamy, soothing voice. And then it very quickly turns into a disco fest. One of the most fantastic songs she ever sang. Oh man, Motown's first foray into disco. The great Berry Gordy wasn't so keen on the classic Diana Ross doing disco. She did it anyway. Et voila.
Outsurance can't improve your parallel parking skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Mzansi, petrol prices have hit our pockets hard this year. And now Powerball is going up too. This Friday is the final Powerball draw under eTuba's National Lottery license, where you can still play for just 5 Rand a board. From next week, that same Powerball board will cost 10 Rand. So, before the price doubles, make your 5 Rand count. Play this Friday for an estimated 223 million Rand in total jackpots, 118 million Rand on Powerball, and 105 million Rand on Powerball Plus. One last Powerball draw under eTuba. One last 5 Rand chance. Get your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Let's hear from Chantel and Mel, owners of Jelly Body and Nail Studio, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
We were with our previous insurer for about 4 years, and when we decided to switch, it was actually a flawless process. It definitely pays to switch.
For beauty salons, convenience stores, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Mzansi, Take-A-Lot's senior cart, and boy have you been shopping. To say thank you for all your support, we're bringing you the Thanks a Lot sale. Get up to 60% off must-have beauty, sports gear, latest tech, TV and appliances, everyday essentials, toys and more. To know you is to spoil you. Shop the Take-A-Lot Thanks a Lot sale from 25 May to 7 June.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
Now, this can be a very tricky one, particularly, of course, in adulthood. Let's talk about the family holiday.
Yes, I think it is particularly difficult, especially when you have your own family and you decide to go away with your parents. Then you've got to decide which parents you're taking. Is it the missus's parents or your parents, or do you share it? And, maybe the relations there sometimes are a bit strained. But the reason we're talking about this is a video was posted by one of the adult children of this family. They had come to the end of their family holiday. And at the end, when they were saying goodbye to mom and dad, Dad was in tears, mom was in tears, and just really sad to see the girls go back to their lives because they don't live with their parents anymore. And, these two girls I think are probably in their mid-20s. So they could be away at college or they could be working somewhere or whatever it may be. So it was quite a sweet video to see. And the responses to the videos are quite interesting as well, especially with parents who say that they get so sad when their children come back home to visit. I mean, they might not have gone on holiday, but it could be the holidays and the children have come back to visit the parents. And then when it's time to leave, they're so sad, and some of them try not show the emotions to the adult children as well. So I wanted to put it out there to our 702 family, whether you are a parent now and you have adult children, do they like to holiday with you? So they could be with their own families or they could not. Maybe they like to rather perhaps holiday with their friends as opposed to you. So family holidays, do you still go on family holidays with your parents? And if your parents are a little bit aged now, do you take them along with you on your holidays? And, at the end of the holiday, is it tears or is it, phew, we got through it, hey?
Is it tears or is it cheers? Sometimes it can also be cheers because, wow.
Yes,
I had forgotten about all of this. All right, let's put
but
it
I
out
think
there.
I think it's a blessing, to be honest. Like I was watching this video of these parents crying, and it was really sad. So if your parents are still alive, think about when last you went on holiday with them. Maybe it's time to revisit a nice holiday with your parents.
All right, let's put it out there. 072-702-1702. At the end of those holidays, as adults with family, your siblings, your parents, is it tears or jeers?
702
Feedback
with Rupfiwa Kone.
Rupfiwa Kone?
Yeah, bo.
Do you as an adult, you go on holiday with, say, your siblings, for example, and spouses and kids, and how does that work out?
Maybe with spouses and kids. I haven't really enjoyed a holiday with my brothers and my siblings and my parents yet. On holidays, what we would usually do is take our kids to the grandparents to stay with them. And vele after the holiday, for our grandparents, it's like, finally, take them. It's enough. We've had
Take them
enough.
back.
We don't want the kids anymore. So,
All right.
yeah.
What other feedback do you have?
Well, Bongani, listeners are reacting to your question this morning about things that irk them or irritate them or behaviors that irritate them about other people.
My best so far was your co-producer, Siamtanda Matiso, which happens at every family function, right? Could be a wedding, it could be a funeral. And maybe we've got cool drinks. You know, those little Coke bottles
that we give away.
And people will take those things and put them in their bags or dish to take home.
Yeah. That's just a poor mentality, I guess, in those type of functions. You know how people behave in those
Sometimes
kind of
it's
functions.
not because people are poor. It's just lack of consideration.
Bad manners.
Yeah.
Well, people are also irritated by people chewing loudly, popping your bubble gum in public. I mean, chew it for yourself. Pop, pop, pop.
Africa Milane said earlier, he's only ever seen women do it.
Popping
Ama
HIPs.
bubbles.
It's a really irritating sound. Spitting did come up a lot, Bongani. And gentlemen, gentle brothers, we are really not liking seeing you guys
On the side of the
leaving.
road. I think,
Please. Let's just
leave it at on the side of the road.
Yes,
we
please,
got you.
guys.
We got you. More of your responses, and Kabazela wants to know about those family holidays as adults. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
An upmarket estate bolsters its security following a deadly shooting, and the Home Affairs Minister will give an update on this week's R1 billion drug bust. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Blue Valley Golf and Country Estate Management in Midrand has deployed armed technical guards after 4 people were shot there. 2 gunmen travelling in motorbikes opened fire on 4 people inside a car at the entrance of the estate yesterday. The motive for the shooting is not yet known and no arrests have been made. Gauteng Police spokesperson Demakatso Nebuuli says 2 people who were inside the car are dead.
They reportedly climbed off their bikes and started shooting at the occupants of the Toyota vehicle before fleeing the scene. The driver and the passenger sitting in front were declared dead, while the other 2 sustained injuries and were taken to hospital. Police will be investigating a case of murder with 2 counts and attempted murder with 2 counts.
Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber will this morning outline efforts to combat transnational organised crime following a 1 billion rand drug bust. Border Management Authority officials intercepted a truck carrying the drugs at the Beitbridge border post yesterday, arresting 3 suspects. Schreiber will be joined by BMA Commissioner Michael Masiapato to brief media on plans to strengthen border security. Camray Clark reports.
In a billion-rand drug bust, Border Management authorities uncovered 700,000 grams of mandrax during a routine stop-and-search check. The vehicle was travelling from Malawi when authorities discovered the suspicious substance during a non-intrusive inspection through the cargo scanner. BMA spokesperson Meme Mukhotsi.
This prompted the officials to conduct an extensive physical search of the truck, which lasted approximately 8 hours.
Mukhotsi adds that the Hawks, together with the K9 unit, were activated to process the scene. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber and BMA Commissioner Michael Masiapato will this morning outline efforts to combat drug smuggling syndicates and protect South Africa's ports of entry from criminal exploitation. Camray Clark, Eyewitness News.
National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza has defended her handling of a recent Constitutional Court order to begin an impeachment inquiry against President Cyril Ramaphosa. Didiza says she has been following instructions to the latter. Opposition parties yesterday criticized the ANC for shutting down an impeachment inquiry in 2022, saying Parliament is now facing the consequences of that decision. The first meeting of the impeachment committee will be held on Monday, despite a legal challenge by Ramaphosa to an independent panel impeachment report commissioned by Parliament on the Phala debacle. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
3 weeks since the Constitutional Court again found Parliament wanting in its Section 89 impeachment process, Speaker Togo Didiza is bearing the brunt of the decision-making of the former administration. The UDM's Nkabayomzi Kwankwa said the ANC had used a warped logic to subvert checks and balances on President Cyril Ramaphosa.
And now, in light of the Concord judgment, the chickens have come home to roost, and I regret to inform you that we are not going to shield you from the consequences of your actions.
The ATM's Tandiswa Mahau, meanwhile, said Parliament was drifting away from its constitutional mandate to protect the executive. But Didiza said the criticism was unjustified and she's been carrying out the court order in the sequence prescribed.
So what is it that we say the Speaker has been partial, has not acted in the interest of this House? I do not think it's true.
Didiza says court rulings against Parliament have shown the need for lawmakers to be more rigorous in the way they draft their rules and procedures. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And the UN Health Chief says the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has claimed more than 200 lives, can be stopped. World Health Organization head Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has landed in the DRC to oversee the fight against the highly infectious disease. He is set to travel to Ituri province today in the northeastern DRC, the epidemic's epicenter. The WHO has recorded 10 confirmed and 223 suspected Ebola deaths in the DRC since the outbreak was declared on May 15th, out of more than 1,000 confirmed and suspected cases, according to its latest figures up to May 24th. The WHO has warned the true spread of the outbreak, thought to have circulated under the radar for some time, is likely much wider. Meanwhile, the NICD's Vuyiswa Khumalo explains what would happen in the event a case is reported on South African soil.
So even if an imported case would happen in the country, we wouldn't expect widespread community transmission. This isn't a virus that spreads through the air or through casual contact. you need, close contact with someone who is sick with their bodily fluids.
Gold is trading at $4,497.45 an ounce. The rand is at 16.24 to the dollar, 21.82 to the pound, 18.90 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $92.63 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North between Malibongo Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. We've got an accident reported between these points. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N3 North, queuing traffic between the Yelands interchange and the Geldenhuys interchange.
And in your sport, Bafana plays Nicaragua in a friendly tonight before leaving for the FIFA World Cup on Sunday. Springbok flag Kwagga Smith is out for the rest of the year. And only 4 of the men's top 10 seats are left at the French Open. Today, Zverev and Djokovic hoping to advance.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the Blue Valley Golf and Country Estate Management in Midrand has deployed armed tactical guards after 4 people were shot there.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk. This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast on this Friday. It is good news, right? When you hear the Border Management Authority, for example, dealing with organized crime. R1 billion drug bust. R1 billion drug bust. That's an impressive number. Hey, Muteo? Just don't tell Sergeant Faningosi about it, hey?
It's an impressive number, man.
Don't tell Faningosi about it, hey?
I don't know about that.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Kabazela wants to know, as an adult, do you still go on family holidays? Perhaps with your adult siblings and their spouses and their children? And does it always work out? Or does it sometimes end in tears? Does it end in tears or cheers? Tears or jeers? Muteo, you've got an adult sibling. Do you guys holiday together as family? With the kids?
No, we get along. We haven't done it in a while. But whenever we go away, it's a good time. It's a good time. We've never really had a clash of heads whenever we're away.
Amo?
I've done it a lot with my in-laws. It's always lovely, but I don't like things to end, so I'm the problem. Yeah.
You're the one who doesn't want the holiday to end.
I don't want the holiday to end. I don't want anyone to go home. We must just stay there.
Now, you and I had a discussion earlier about Malibongwe. Is it road now or drive?
Malibongwe
Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to Google it.
No,
I didn't want to Google it. I just was trying top of my head.
Yeah.
What was it called? A number of people were suggesting that it was called DF Malan, and that's now Beyers Nadir, so that's not the right one. It's certainly not Hendrik Verwoerd. Because what's Hendrik Verwoerd now called? Come now.
There's still Hendrik Verwoerd.
No.
Drive in Roodepoort.
No, but I'm talking
You mean
in
the
Randburg.
turn off on the N1?
In Randburg?
Mm-hmm.
There by Mnet. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm really old.
The Republic.
Vusi in Soweto? You want to put me out of my misery about Malibongwe? What was it called before?
Hi, Bongs. It was called Hans Stradom.
It was called Hans Stradom. And now, what has replaced Hendrik Verwoerd in Randburg? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure about that. I know Hans Stradom because I started working in 1974 and I was doing deliveries, all over.
Okay,
So
Hans
I know.
Stradom, yes.
Yeah,
Hans
yeah.
Stradom.
When town was still Dubai, and you had all those big shops, about Rick Textiles, House and Kitties. They were selling the real stuff, so we're delivering all over you.
All right, Vusi, appreciate that call in Soweto. Come, put me out of my misery.
It's Bram Fisher.
Bram Fisher Drive, of course it is. Rudy, you're in Sophia Town. You want to talk about hospitals and service?
Yeah, Bongani, that story of our premier from Limpopo, Poppy Ramatuba, always touches me. It just touches a nerve. You know, there's no service culture in the public sector these days. And I must just relate this story to you. I said to your producer that I used to work at the old Coronation Hospital, Rahima, which is now Rahima Musa.
Yes.
And remember, outpatients, you have all the old patients, cardiac patients, diabetic, hypertension patients. So
Correct.
they come for treatment.
Yeah,
And they
medication
arrive very
collection,
early.
that kind of thing, yeah.
Correct. They arrive very early. And the culture we learned, if you're going to take even a 10-minute lunch at 1 o'clock and so, you'll go home at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. That's how bad it is because the queues clock up. A few minutes makes a huge difference. So I can tell you, Bongani, we did not even have, you'll have maybe a quick bite for a minute. Just a sandwich, you have half of that sandwich. When it's lunchtime, the minute, if it's up to 1 o'clock or so, and you take 10 minutes, that you will clock up. When I heard the story that you related with our premier, it just resonated with her, and I support her fully with that mentality.
Yeah.
Our public servants, not only in health, leaves much to be desired with service ethic and serving the people. Now you have them closing that window. I don't know. I must tell Premier here by us, we must stop that window closing in all bloody public sector. Sorry for my French. Because when they close that window, that's the time that service it gets down and then your queues just gets longer.
Yeah, because the patients don't see what happens behind that closed window. Great point, Rudy, and that's exactly why I said, for me, I mean, yeah, she's going to get a lot of attention. I get that. She's a politician, which is fine. But it's the idea that we now have clinics all over Limpopo unsure of when she might do a spot visit at theirs, right? And doesn't that lead to the very service delivery we all want? More of that, please.
Morning, Bongani. Bigs up to Dr. Poppy, is it Ramatoha? I mean, what about us here in Gauteng? The same effort, I mean, can make our health, place better. You know, I don't know. Bigs up to Doctor. Thank you, Bongani.
Good morning, Bongos. 72 lenders. Bongos, you know, when I hear the story of this corruption of Tembisa Hospital administrator, whatever the case may be, and the fact that they attach her or his pension, that's a way to go. I still think that's a way to go. For people that are corrupt, the sooner that they attach their pension, it's only then they'll respect their jobs. Because now it will hit them hard, because most of the time they don't care because they know that government is going to pay or whatever the case may be. But the day they know for sure that it's going to hit them on the pocket, it's the day they don't do their job properly.
Morning, Bongani. My mom is 83 years old, and I've taken her on various holidays, and I'm so glad I did. I just feel so blessed that I had the opportunity to take her. You know, she's gone on aeroplanes, gone to various cities in the country, and really she has been happy to be part of that. But yeah, no. And all the time I've gone with her friends as well. So, you know, there'll be like 2 or 3 Danis there. But when you come back, you're like, oh my goodness. Wow, now I need a holiday. Spoiler from me, train.
Oh, I love that. There's nothing like being able to do something that pleases your aging parent. There's no greater feeling. I know it's cool when your kids appreciate your efforts, right? But when it's your aging parent, I think that takes it to another level entirely. So I appreciate that. Dr. Poppy Ramatuba is who we're talking about. The Limpopo Premier doing these spot checks at various clinics, arrives in the morning, finds a clinic chock-a-block with patients, and where are the nurses and the staff that are meant to be attending to them having their first tea break before work the workday begins. And she says, absolutely not on my watch.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. All right, so we know Malibongwe was Hans Stradum. And we know that what was now Hendrik Verwoerd is now Bram Fisher Drive.
Yeah.
So when you mention those 2 points, people will know what we're talking about, Amo.
Definitely, Bongani. At this moment, though, we do have delays on the Mike-1 North. This is between Boysons and the double-decker section. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Airlines turnoff and Van Buren Road. While traveling on the N1 North, do expect delays between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. This is due to an accident scene, so please approach with care. More updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen can't help you make small talk with the other school moms, but they can help you get to the game on time. And seeing them on your route just makes you feel better. So the Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so everyone gets to where they need to be quickly and safely for 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
It's game day, and the family's facing off against the Snotties and Flemmies. Dad's down! Blocked sinus and mucus is gaining ground!
New game plan. Let's bring in the ACC team. With ACC, Mom's got the winning play. Entering the field, ACC helps break down mucus and clear the airways. Choose the winning team when you're facing Snotties and Flemmies. If it doesn't say ACC, it's not ACC.
702 Josie, my Josie, Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people, Sunday, 26 July. Babize bonke. And this year you can choose from 3 different inner city routes. The 8-kilometer, starting at 44 Main Street route, takes you from Ellis Park through Maboneng and Jewel City past the Field of Dreams and the Maharishi Invincibility Institute. And then you go through the Main Street precinct, Gandhi Square, past the Carlton Centre, finishing off again at Ellis Park. So whether you're taking on 8Ks, 5Ks or 15Ks, enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg.
More chances to play, more chances to win. That's the future of the Lotto Mzansi. Introducing Multiplay from Sisekaya. For the first time ever, you're not limited to just 6 numbers. With Multiplay 1, you can pick 7 numbers, and if you only get 6, you still win. That means more combinations, more excitement, and more chances to win big. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekaya from June 1.
Weekday evenings at 6.
We've started to feel the pain already of the biggest fuel hikes this century. Now, interest rates are going up. What have the numbers been telling you about the pain people are feeling?
The SARB reported back in March that some 61.8% of household income goes towards servicing debt every single month. And now with these increases, Stephen, in both fuel as well as interest, it creates immense pressure on a household barely struggling to make means.
Lee Knight, the CEO of TransUnion.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by Absa Business Banking. Today's customers expect payments to be instant, simple, and secure. And businesses that adapt stay ahead. Discover solutions built for SMEs and the future of African payments. Visit absa.co.za/business to learn more. Absa is a registered FSP.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
When you think of Johannesburg's nightlife scene, what word comes to mind? What if our social experiences around music, around food, around coming together were only and purely about connection? That's the idea behind You and Me Africa, a lifestyle platform bringing music, food, conversation, and community together in one curated experience. So this Sunday, 31 May, it's going to come to life in 2 parts. The Harvest Table, an intimate long table dining experience by Nella's Kitchen, and then it's going to be followed by The Gathering, a rooftop sunset session featuring the fantastic Lee Art, Sir LSG, Soul Diva, Miss Prince, and other surprise guests. We are joined now by Yonela Kwabe to tell us more about the You and Me Africa. A very good morning to you, Yonela, and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Good morning, Bongani. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Talk to me about the problem you are trying to solve. I'm going to ask you to come a little closer to the microphone. What
Awesome.
problem are you trying to solve with You and Me Africa?
I believe You and Me is a space to create connections so that people, I think often you go to events where it's quite noisy and you don't find an opportunity to connect to the people. So You and Me is taking a different approach in making sure when you leave the room, you've connected to someone who can connect you somewhere. You know, Joburg is a place where you can find more opportunities. The cost of living is becoming high, so we need to find opportunities to connect to one another, to do more than one job, to survive what the economy is looking like. And obviously, that's a passion and the purpose of You and Me, to connect people through food, music.
Tell us what's going to happen.
All right. So on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we already launched our first You and Me event a month ago. So this specific one is really centered around the fact that we've just concluded Africa Month. And we're starting with a long table that's going to start from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3, where guests are going to be treated to an awesome menu, including some of the African inspiration for the menu. And then after that, we're going to switch on to the music part, where I encourage people in future to join the long table. That's where the connections are more possible. The later part is more a deeper connection through music and obviously sharing the space through dance and so on. So that's what we have for the weekend, which is very, very exciting.
And it's happening at the Harvest Table.
It is happening at Rooftop here at Prime Media. That's where the venue will be. And it's starting. I know the Harvest Table is already sold out, and if you still want to join the party part, you can still RSVP for that. Yeah.
All right. Why should people consider this as an option for their Sunday?
To be treated by Nela's Kitchen on a Sunday lunch, it's not typical than cooking your own food at home. It's a special element, and obviously I've already mentioned the issue or the advantage of coming to connect with people. So it's not just your normal Sunday lunch. You can still go to church and have a morning service and still join us at 11 o'clock to come and connect. It's a different space where you are having your lunch with music, with different people that you would have never met before, and an opportunity to see what's out there in Joburg, because we bring people from different spaces, and there's a surprise for the guest, obviously, that I'm not allowed to talk to. So it's an awesome a treat for the guest.
What's the surprise? I won't tell anyone. Tell me.
I can't talk about the surprise.
All right, You and Me Africa is giving away 2 double tickets to this 31st of May experience. To enter, simply send us your name plus one of the DJs who will be performing in the gathering part of the event. Part of that lineup, you can do so via our WhatsApp line on 072 702 1702. Winners will be selected randomly.
Everything's about to change. Sicknesses out of bed. No, this is bad. Niggas push on life and a solution that changes.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
News from elsewhere in the world. Adam Gilchrist, all eyes on the Gulf. Will we get war or peace?
Yeah, we're getting both at the moment, aren't we, somehow? In the last 24 hours, or actually about 24 hours ago, the US military carried out some airstrikes targeting an Iranian military site in Bandar Abbas, a port city, so-called self-defense attacks, and the second in 3 days. In response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, says they targeted a US airbase. They didn't give details, but putting 2 and 2 together, Kuwait, which houses a US airbase, says its air defenses were indeed intercepting hostile missile and drone threats. So we've got that thing going on, whilst within that 24-hour period now, we're told that negotiations have moved on, progress has been made, and indeed the American Vice President J.D. Vance is telling us that he's very positive. It's not a done deal yet, but it's not if, it's when there is an agreement. It does absolutely feel like both sides are playing good cop, bad cop, but at the same time in both directions. And therefore, it feels like it's war and peace at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's extraordinary that ultimately the outcome of all of this is to take us to where we were before it all started.
Yes.
Adam, let's go down under now. A mega lawsuit.
Yeah, a huge one, this. And of course, there are thoughts about whether this will be a precedent or not. So the Australian government is launching its biggest ever lawsuit. It is suing the manufacturing giant, the American manufacturers 3M, for 2 billion Australian dollars, roughly speaking, 23 billion rand. It is over 3M's alleged use of toxic, as they call them, forever chemicals, chemicals that are really difficult to get rid of once they are there. So this is a claim over the fighting foam specifically, those chemicals that can contaminate water, soil, food, and us, as well as fight fires. And it is claimed, according to the Australian government, that 3M, normally known for Post-its and once upon a time cassette tapes, but anyway, 3M withheld and misrepresented details about that. 3M itself says it never made PFAs in Australia and stopped selling the firefighting foam of this type anyway 20 years ago. So you'd think that'd be simple to solve. Either the chems were there or not, either 3M was selling the stuff or not. But as I say, there's a hefty precedent riding on this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does go to court.
Now, Adam, don't take food to your room.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, who'd have thought? But on a cruise ship, or specifically an Italian Costa cruise ship, they are basically going to fine you if you do that thing of just nicking an apple at breakfast or taking a cheeky bread roll or maybe a pastry from the breakfast counter to eat later. Thinking about cruises, I mean, I've only been on one very small one, but generally speaking, I thought you'd paid for all the food. I mean, they get you on the booze, but you pay for all the food up front. So the idea of taking a croissant to have with your 11s, surely that's not an issue. According to Costa Cruises, it's about health and hygiene. It feels like a fine. They're going to fine people 60 euros, so we're not far off 1,200 rand, for taking a Danish pastry that from a breakfast you've already paid for. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure that, you don't really want blob food everywhere on your cruise ship, but you have also paid for the cleaning in advance, haven't you, when you go on a cruise? Guest safety and well-being are our top priority, says Costa Cruises. Yeah, right. Well, there's now talk on social media of a boycott should they carry on with this fine.
Now, Adam, a little earlier I quoted the great Catherine Tate, who used to quip, "When we say all you can eat, that is in fact an offer and not a challenge."
Yeah, but there again, how much are you paying for the all you can eat? And all you can drink is a dangerous one as well.
Indeed. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
Right, Dis-Chem declaring a clean bill of health, Muteo.
Yeah, the company says for the 12 months ended in February, the group revenue increased by 9.3% to 42.8 billion rand. Retail revenue also grew by 9% to 36 billion rand at its pharmacies, with comparable pharmacy store revenue growing by 5.3%. The opening and acquisition of 31 retail pharmacy stores and 3 baby store closures resulted in a footprint of 316 retail pharmacy stores and 42 retail baby stores at year end. Now, for the 17 weeks since the launch of the Better Rewards program, revenue has increased by 9.6%, while wholesale revenue is up 13% at 34 billion rand.
Pharmacists who care, hey? Even on social media and everywhere else. Well, how are the markets?
Markets are weaker. Yesterday, down 330 points. MTN Group was up 4%, though Harmony enjoying gains of 2.9%. Tungela up more than 1%. Clicks was down 2.8% yesterday. Life Healthcare down 5%, with Karoo, the owners of Cartrack, down 6%. The rand at this hour, 16 rand 23, strengthening into the morning, 18 rand 88 cents against the euro, and you need just 21 rand 80 cents to get a British pound. Price of gold is up 1% at $4,517 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,917. Brent crude staying low at $91 a barrel. Stephen Crotus to wrap up the week in business later this afternoon.
Straight to the news desk we go. Now, when this party first emerged, there were those who said it was a spaza shop party, but they argued no, it's led by a former president. Who's wrong? Who's right? Swiss Zulu.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. Well, the MK Party senior officials are expected to meet with party president Jacob Zuma to discuss the arrest of its chief whip. Mabato Mokoena Zondi was arrested yesterday in connection with fraud. She was later released on a 30,000 rand bail after appearing in the Cape Town Magistrates Court. Babalondenza reports.
The main allegation is that Mokoena Zondi deducted up to 60% of the salaries of MK Party parliamentary officials to pay for the legal cost of party president Jacob Zuma. The party says it's currently engaging internally and assessing the full circumstances surrounding the allegations and charges. The party says given that the complainants are party employees, it's important that all parliamentary and internal organizational processes unfold in a fair and transparent manner. Mokoena Zondi is expected back before the court on the 18th of June. Babalo Ndanza, Eyewitness News, Cape Town.
More than 100 residents from the Plastic View informal settlement have been left without shelter after a fire broke out. The blaze erupted last night, but Tshwane Emergency Services had difficulty accessing some parts of the area because of limited routes. EMS spokesperson Nana Khadebe Khiba says no fatalities or injuries have been reported.
The cause of fire will be determined once firefighting operations are done.
Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya adds that this is the second fire in the informal settlement since Sunday, where 59 households were affected.
We're just asking that the residents should not come and just to manage the space here. We will keep residents updated, but it's going to be one of those. What we are seeing here is not good.
The cost of credit goes up from today after the Reserve Bank hiked interest rates by 25 basis points, bringing the prime landing rate to 10.5%. The bank announced yesterday that it is concerned about inflation becoming entrenched in the economy due to external factors linked to tensions in the Middle East. The Reserve Bank warns that higher inflation will erode household disposable income, leaving many consumers more vulnerable to further price shocks, particularly from rising fuel and food costs. FNB's Esther Uche has urged consumers to review their monthly budgets and seek financial assistance where necessary.
This may result in increased monthly spending on home loans, vehicle finance, and other credit agreements. In this environment, consumers are encouraged to review their budgets carefully, limit unnecessary expenditure, and be cautious about taking out new debt. Consumers who find themselves under financial pressure should engage with their bank as early as possible.
And a man accused of helping dozens of people worldwide commit suicide by selling them poison is set to appear in a Canadian court where he is expected to plead guilty to 14 crimes. Since Kenneth Law's arrest in 2023, details of the online forums where he advised distressed people on how to end their lives have caused public outrage and triggered investigations in several countries. In Canada, Law faced 14 murder charges and an additional 14 charges for aiding or counseling suicide, but prosecutors have withdrawn the murder charge in exchange for Law pleading guilty to the lesser offences. Legal experts note that counseling suicide is a serious crime and Law could receive a sentence of 10 to 20 years. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 25 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N3 North between the Elands Interchange and the Geldenhuys Interchange.
The top story this hour, MK Party senior officials are expected to meet with Party President Jacob Zuma to discuss the arrest of the organization's chief whip.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bets supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
That's Liesel, before she got naked. Liesel checked her insurance premium and got angrier than the time a teenager called her tiny. So Liesel got naked and got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds, all on the Naked app. There we go, Liesel. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
This week on MasterChef South Africa, the humble egg takes center stage. It sounds simple, but in the MasterChef South Africa kitchen, even the basics can crack under pressure. This week on MasterChef South Africa, home cooks face an egg challenge all about precision, timing, and nerves.
You have 6 eggs and only 6 eggs. We would like you to cook for us 1 perfectly poached egg, 1 perfect boiled jammy egg, and 1 simple 2-egg folded omelette. There is, however, a small catch. You only have 10 minutes.
Catch MasterChef South Africa this Sunday at 6 p.m. on ETV or stream it on EVOD at watch.evod.co.za.
The world's best male and female paddle players are coming to South Africa. The historic Premier Paddle Pretoria P1 will be at Sunbet Arena Times Square from 26 July to the 2nd of August. Expect world-class action, unbelievable energy, premium hospitality, and an atmosphere unlike anything South African sport has seen before. This is Africa's biggest paddle tournament ever, and tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to witness the sport's biggest stars in South Africa. Get your tickets now at primemediaplus.com.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. Bongani, help me out here. I heard that Sizekaya, a ticket that I was buying for 5 rand, on Sizekaya, I will be buying it for 10 rands. 100% increase for the same ticket. No, it can't be in this country. What's going on in this country? We don't even know what this lotto money does for this country. This Sizekaya of Mashatile. No, guys. Why is nobody bothered about it? Or because it's gambling? No. It can't be. We can't be robbed daylight. No, we have to stand up on this one. Whether you bet or you don't bet. No, man. Or people, they don't bother if they don't play lotto. It can't be. Sindile.
Sindile.
Bongani.
I've I've got to deal with what Sindile is saying. Firstly, you're under no obligation to play the lotto. And I would imagine, like the price of anything else, the price of the tickets is going to go up at some point. There's a change in the operator. So presumably they've done whatever number crunching and the price of your lotto ticket, yes, has gone up. It is what it is. Now, the connection to Paul Mashatile, he has denied anything untoward as far as his friends or associates of his or people very close to him winning that multi-billion rand tender to run the lotto. He has consistently said, as the deputy president, he does not sit on any decision-making body that would have awarded his friends that contract. So it has nothing to do with him. And unless you and I can prove otherwise, that's the way it goes. That's what stands.
Hi, Bongani. South Africa really sounds like a movie. If it's not the parliamentary guy who has bothered everybody else at parliament, including the president, then it's the Tebisa Clark that had a property of 6 million rands. This corruption, no, man. What are we gonna do about it, really? My goodness, I don't even see Kempton Park.
There's a lot going on even on the continent. I'm reading some of the comments that some of you have left on the YouTube page. You've got a listener all the way from Kenya cringing about setting up that Ebola quarantine center in their country. It's for Americans only, remember. Somebody else says we've got to worry about our border management policies as far as Ebola is concerned. We spoke earlier to an expert who said there's not much to worry about there. Keep those messages and comments coming on our YouTube page.
EWN Sport.
Gosh, 2 Fridays from now, what will be well underway, Cindy Paluta?
Well, 2 Fridays from now, I will be reading the result of the Bafana Mexico game on the FIFA World Cup. Can you believe it? Can
We're
you
all going to
actually
come to
believe
work
it?
early that day at 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
No. The game's at 9 o'clock at night. It's
Our
time.
time.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Thank goodness. But speaking of the comment line and the YouTube comments and all of that, people have been messaging to say, Cindy, what time is Bafana in action tonight? Because they're playing Nicaragua at Orlando Stadium.
Yes.
And the schedule there is it's scheduled to kick off at 6 p.m. And then people have messaged the Sundowns fans and have said, excuse me, our team is also in action tonight. But of course, I forgot about that because the majority of the Bafana side is
won't be
Mamba
there.
and Sundowns
They'll be
players.
playing for-
They're playing against the German side, Leipzig. And that's at 8 o'clock tonight. So Bafana's at 6. Sundowns is at 8. Leipzig finished third in the German's Bundesliga this season.
So it
should be a
gonna
good
be a competitive
Yeah,
game.
because the German Bundesliga is actually really good quality football.
Yeah.
Right? So the Champions League final tomorrow night is so then that's it. So right, you've got it, right? You've got that tonight it's Bafana and
Yes.
Sundowns in action, right?
Yes.
And then tomorrow night you've got the Champions League where the League One champions, PSG, are taking on the Premier League champions, Arsenal. That's tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Here's the Gunners captain, Martin Odegaard, speaking on Sky Sports.
Yeah, 90 minutes away from that. So we've said that the whole season, Premier League, Champions League, the two big ones. Another dream that we can make a reality, So, yeah, it's amazing to have that to look forward to with this energy, with this mood in the group, and to have a final to prepare for is, just so special. And everyone is just excited. And
So it's Bafana tonight at 6 p.m., Sundowns at 8 p.m. and then tomorrow the Champions League final at 6 p.m. again. United Rugby Championship quarterfinal starts tonight with Glasgow hosting Connacht. Tomorrow all 3 South African sides are in action. It'll be an exciting day. At Loftus, the Bulls are hosting Munster, the Stormers are hosting Cardiff, and then over in Dublin, the Lions are away at Leinster. 3 weeks to the start of the Springbok season, and flank Kwagga Smith is out for the rest of the year. He injured his knee playing for his Japanese club. Sevens rugby starts in Spain this morning. Blitzboks are playing Great Britain and Kenya. They'll play Australia tomorrow. The women are playing Australia this morning, followed by the USA, and tomorrow they play Fiji. The French Open continues with or without the top seeds. Only 4 of the men's top 10 seeds are still there. Today, the second seed Zverev and the third seed Djokovic are hoping to stay in it. Yesterday, the men's top seed Yannick Sinner and the 5th seed Ben Shelton were both knocked out. On the women's side, the top seeds have all been fine. They're still in it. At the IPL later, Rajasthan Royals are playing Gujarat Titans. The winner will meet Royal Challengers Bangalore in Sunday's final. And the MotoGP is in Mugello this weekend. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Your boss noticed. Your ex noticed. The neighbors definitely noticed. Because some cars say, I rented a car. And some cars say, I rented the car. Sani Sixt Rent a Car. Premium rentals. For people who don't settle. Choose the right car. Rent Sani Sixt on sani.co.za.
If your gym was becoming too expensive, you'd switch, right? So why pay more for car insurance? Switching to Outsurance saved 43-year-old Gloria an unbelievable 513 Rand on her 2024 Audi Q3. Get a quote now, and if Outsurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Mzansi, petrol prices have hit our pockets hard this year. And now Powerball is going up too. This Friday is the final Powerball draw under eTuba's National Lottery license, where you can still play for just 5 Rand a board. From next week, that same Powerball board will cost 10 Rand. So, before the price doubles, make your 5 Rand count. Play this Friday for an estimated 223 million rand in total jackpots, 118 million rand on Powerball, and 105 million rand on Powerball Plus. One last Powerball draw under Ituba. One last 5 rand chance. Get your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Calling all aspiring radio stars. This June, 7:02 afternoons with Relebogile Mabotja is bringing back Youth Takeover Thursdays. So if you or someone you know dreams of being on air as a talk show host, newsreader, a traffic reporter, sports presenter, we want to hear from you. A select few will shadow the team, go live on 7:02 and walk away with a professional demo. Email 7:02afternoons@702.co.za with your details, the role, a short motivation, and a 1-minute demo. Applications will close today.
EWN Traffic.
Oh, do you remember being a youngster, wanting to be on the radio, Amo? Dreaming of the future?
Oh, man.
And here you are today.
Take me back.
Wrapping up
Bongani.
traffic for the morning.
Well, we do have delays on the N1 North. This is between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. An accident is causing these delays, so heading towards four-ways could be problematic this morning. There's also queuing traffic along Malibongwe Drive towards the N1 exit while traveling on the M1 South. Delays between Sant and Greyston Drive and Corlett Drive. Then heading towards Bedford View, do expect queuing traffic on the N3 North approaching Van Buren Road due to roadworks. More updates at the top of the hour. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Hi, Bongani. Don't do that to us. Before you hang up by 9 o'clock, you must play Love Hangover to the fullest. Please, Riako Jive. How? Joy from Mamelodi.
We could tell you we're the best bank in Africa, but if you're a CEO or CFO looking to scale, you'll want the numbers. Like that 350 of Africa's corporates bank with us, that 80% of its billion-dollar corporates trust us with their business, and that our systems process 300 million rand a minute. That's 430 billion rand every day. Grow with the bank that does big numbers. Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
It's that time of the year. Sore throats, congestion, wet and dry coughs, pain and fever. For trusted relief for you and your family, ask your pharmacist to recommend a winter survival pack from the Adcock Ingram OTC range. With products like Medikil A, Expigen, Corenza Para-C, Adco Napamol, Dilinct Junior, and more, we have you covered this winter. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Evolution doesn't wait. Introducing the Chang'an Uni S. Unexpected, unmistakable, uncompromising. Engineered to a higher standard, unlike anything in its class. Unsurprising, really, from China's oldest automaker. Trusted by 30 million drivers worldwide. And at 4,999 per month, it's an unbeatable offer too. Chang'an Finance, T's and C's apply. Visit chang'anmotors.co.za for more. The Chang'an Uni S.
Chang'an, driven to evolve.
That's Sia before he got naked. Sia had a bumper bash and had to reattach his fender using duct tape and a prayer. So Sia got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance in seconds and can now submit claims instantly on the Naked app. No more arts and crafts for you, Sia. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Coming up on Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12, all the way from KZN, no less. Good morning, young man.
Good morning, old man. How are you doing?
What's happening in the kingdom?
I've got a question for you. What's your favorite winter retreat? Where do you normally go? Do you have that small little place you hide to during winter that
Clarence.
you love? Clarence.
Clarence in the Free State.
Today we're going to be telling you about
Gonna
the
give me
Midlands,
options.
because it's actually my favorite. Yeah, so that you've got different options. It's my favorite hideout, especially in winter. I love playing golf here and coming to just rest and be warm. So we're going to be telling you about the Midlands. We're here, brought to you by KZN Tourism and Film Authority. They're launching their winter tourism campaign, and they're showcasing the Midlands as the perfect winter getaway. So we'll tell you more about this place and this campaign. But on the 702 open line, we're going to have a conversation. First, we start with Gratitude Friday, and then we'll have a discussion about that Reserve Bank announcement yesterday, hiking its key lending rate by 25 basis points. And then at 10 o'clock, we do our Across the Desk feature. And today, seeing that we're in the Midlands, I'm going to be hosting small town business owners, because running a business is fulfilling, it's challenging, but running a business in a small town can be somewhat of an experience. And then we wrap up the show at 11 o'clock with our relationship and sex feature. And today we do our quarterly sexual health Q&A segment. It's our second one for the year, so I'll be bringing in Professor Shingai Mutambirwa and Dr. Mpume Zenda to take all sexual health related questions from our listeners.
All right, Clement Mangatela on your radio between 9 and 12.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
Time now to focus on something entirely different. This year, of course, being 2026, will mark the 50th anniversary of the June 16th, 1976 uprisings. The Market Theatre and Baxter Theatre have joined forces for Rise 76, the story of June 16th. It's been running at the Baxter Theatre until tomorrow and transfers to the market from the 5th to the 28th of June 2026. It's written, directed by acclaimed playwright Disetso Mashefane Wanoni, and the play is set at a fictional school called Mulifa Secondary School in Soweto. Go back to 1976. Imagine the students facing the imposition of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Well, a conflict spirals into something historic and irreversible. I spoke about this play with my colleague Africa Melani, who's based in Cape Town, who's already seen it at the Baxter, and he says you will not be able to leave that theatre without being moved. This has a very good morning to you, and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you so much for having me, Bongani.
I'm so excited. Africa Melane is a person whose word I trust completely. And if he says this play is moving, I can't wait to see it.
Oh, gosh, we can't wait to have you see it. I mean, it's just in Cape Town, been snot and trana, I tell you, left and right with the production. And
one of the things that I'm looking forward to, because it's a story we all think we know. What made you feel, what made you think that it was necessary to retell it 50 years later? What perspective did you think was missing from how it's been told so far?
Yeah, so the Market Theatre and the Baxter Theatre commissioned me to write the piece, knowing the sort of research that I do and the perspectives that I like to take up when I write any theatre piece. And that is where I can create a multi-level perspective. So I thought to myself in writing it, what is it that I don't know about the 1976 uprising? So my starting point was, okay, what do I know? What does the average South African know? So we know that the students were against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we know the famous Zamin Zima picture of Hector Peterson, Mbuyisa Makubu, and Antoinette Sithole. So those are the two major facts that, every South African will tend to know. And then from there, I thought to myself, but then these students had families, right? They had parents, they had guardians. What was their perspective on the uprising? All right. So this was happening in schools. What was happening with the teachers and the headmasters, the principals? Get their perspective. And then after the uprising itself, I thought to myself, well, some of these students were injured. Some of them had passed away. They obviously had to then go to hospitals, mortuaries. Then I sort of just looked at what those people were up to after the uprising. And then, of course, on the other side of the violence is the perspective of the police, which was very interesting to come across. So I thought that as a South African, it would be interesting to hear from the general community and how the uprising echoed throughout these various members in the Soweto community. So I think from there, the average South African will pick up many, many narrative threads that he sort of lost throughout the years, throughout the 50 years, rather.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, the many narrative trails, because as we have been warned by other writers, the dangers of a single story. And I like the idea that it's being described as not just presenting multiple voices, but some contradictions as well.
Yes, which has been, I think, a shock to some audience members here in Cape Town, is that when we present the perspective of the police, for example, they expect them to be presented and speak about themselves in a particular way. But because we have positioned the play in the form of a memory play, so the characters are remembering the event in real time. So how they present it is through the eye. I experienced it like this. This was my feeling about it. And whether you agree with it or not, that is the truth. And that is inclusive of the police characters. So there's contradictory narratives that the bigger historical narrative tend to have moved away from. But I bring it back just so we can understand how complicated the uprising actually was. It was a mess, Bongani. When I really look at everybody's testimony, it took everybody by surprise, left and right. So that's sort of what we try to portray, the sort of chaos that happened during that time.
I will certainly, in the days between the 5th of June and the 28th, I'll be there at least once or twice, because one of the things I want to do is I want to explore this production with my youngster and just give her that sense of what young people were doing 50 years ago. But I also want to explore it with some of my older friends who would have been there in 1976. So at least twice I will see it. It's on at the Market Theatre from the 5th of June to the 28th of June. Prices only from 110 Rand at Web Tickets. And this is the production to see this year. Tisetso Mashifane Wanoni, congratulations on what promises to be a delicious evening of theatre, reflection, not only on our past, but indeed the future we enter 50 years after 1976.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
A request made is a request granted. Joy in my melody. This is for you. And of course, this slipper day, I've just scanned my sticker, hoping for a prize, scratched it. Hope I get something. There's a share of 2 million Rand in prizes. This is, of course, for Reach for a Dream. I hope you're wearing your slippers and have yourself a fantastic weekend. Big games tonight for Bafana Bafana. I dare say a bigger one for Arsenal and PSG fans. Whew. We'll talk about it on Monday. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Blue Valley Golf and Country Estate Management in Midrand has deployed armed tactical guards after 4 people were shot there. 2 gunmen travelling in motorbikes opened fire on 4 people inside a car at the entrance of the estate yesterday. The motive for the shooting is not yet known and no arrests